What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Geek Boutique podcast. That's right, your favorite geeky podcast. We are the Geeks and Company. My name's JS. Who's over here is Rob the Bad Guy. And no, you are not seeing things. Mr. Jeffrey is not with us today. There's a family birthday today. I'm not gonna, happy birthday. I'm not gonna, talk about it too much because it's none of my business. But yeah, he's hanging out with his kids, so you're gonna hang out with us. But that's okay because we got the bad guy. We got some news to talk about, and we got a new movie that's come out that we're gonna be talking about at the end of the show. Because we're gonna get into some spoilers, we're gonna wait till the end to talk about it, and then we'll let all you guys know. If you don't want to hear the spoilers, get the hell out. But like I said, we're gonna keep that for later. First of all, if you've not clicked the subscribe button, please, guys. Most of the people that watch this actually are subscribed. It's funny when you watch YouTube videos, they say 80% of the people watching this aren't subscribed to this. Funny enough, most of the people that do watch us are subscribed. But in the event that you were not, we would really appreciate the support. Click the subscribe button. If you click the notification bell, it'll always let you know anytime we go live or upload a brand new video. Mr. Bad Guy.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, buddy?
I am doing fantastic. It's been a busy week, but
yeah, tell me about it, bud.
It's almost over.
It is for me. Today's Friday for me, so
very nice.
I'm pretty happy because this has been a hell of a. Well, we were talking about it just on the weekend. It's been a hell of a 6 months. Let's be honest for me. So
yeah.
This is going to be a nice, well-deserved long weekend over here. Any plans for the weekend?
Not yet. I haven't even actually. That's not true. I have plans for the weekend. It's my wife's birthday, so I almost
happy birthday.
I didn't forget about it, but we are doing some birthday festivities this weekend.
There we go.
Yep,
At home?
Yep. I'm gonna go for dinner, and Father's Day obviously falls on the Sunday, so we're gonna go see some fathers and
nice.
Hopefully, it's a nice weekend. What about you?
We were supposed to go camping, first camping trip of the year, but then there's a fire ban at the campground we were going to go, and it's too cold to go swimming. And now it's apparently supposed to rain and be chilly all weekend. So we're like, maybe we're going to cancel the camping.
Reschedule this one.
Yeah, we're going to reschedule this one. We're going again at the end of the month anyway. It's Steve's birthday, our buddy Ian's brother's birthday. So we're going up to Coburg. We're going to set up on like 17-acre property up there or something like that. So we're going to go set up there and, party it up with the boys. What's up, everybody? Got some people in the chat. Andrew Saxon, a salutation, geeks and nerds. What is up, buddy? Mr. Keith L. London Superman. Hey, gang. What's up, bud? Good save, Rob. Good save. Yeah, very good save.
Yeah.
Get that one. That one. Andre, what's up, Andre? And our friend Steve, collaborated cosplay, Groot in London. Also another Aka. No Aka.
No Aka.
No Aka. Aka has other family obligations today. He is partying it up with his family. There is a birthday, so yeah, they're doing their thing. We're gonna miss him, but we're gonna go on without him.
Yeah, he put in for a vacation day today, and we approved it. He's only got a few left, but
yeah, that's okay.
We let him have this one.
Yeah. Andrew saying, "What good is camping with a campfire?" Right. Like,
what's
half of the reason I go camping is so that I can have a campfire and chill by the fire at nighttime, right? So if I can't chill by the fire,
otherwise you're just cosplaying as homeless, right?
Right? Like, what you want me to do? Like just sit in my pop-up trailer like all weekend, not doing nothing, right? Like that seems silly to me. So yeah. No camping this week. That's okay. I'm sure we'll do other stuff. Should we just get into it?
Let's do it.
I think we're just gonna get into it. It's time for the news. It's the news, where I talk about a bunch of shit I know nothing about. So apparently, How to Train Your Dragon, the live action version. I hate when they do those things because it's live action, but half of the movie is animated, but whatever.
And I honestly, I haven't looked at it too much, but I can't tell the difference between Toothless and the animated and Toothless.
Well, that's kind of my issue with it. Yeah. Like, I don't want Toothless to look completely out of place and completely different, but when he looks identical to what he looks like in the cartoon,
He looks
why
out
am I
of
just not
place.
watching
Yeah.
the cartoon, right? So that was weird to me. That being said, reviews so far are fucking bomb. Like this movie is apparently fire. It's
Really?
actually longer than the original movie, so they've actually added a little bit to the story, which apparently really works in the context of the story. Apparently, if you are a fan of How to Train Your Dragon, you're absolutely going to love this one. So probably not going to go see it in theaters, but that's one that I expect I'm going to be streaming when it comes out because I like that franchise. I like the movies. I like
Me
the TV
too.
show. Well, the original TV show. I know there's been a couple TV shows now, but the original TV show was great. Yeah, looking forward to this one. James Gunn, man, Superman's getting closer and closer, and so obviously everybody's hounding James Gunn. He did do a comment at forget where he was at, but he made a comment about the fact that there is no Justice League yet in the DCU. So I know we're seeing a lot of other heroes, but we were kind of expecting, oh, so the Justice League already exists, and or maybe he's being cheeky, and maybe it's not the Justice League, maybe it's the Justice Society. I don't know, but he is saying there is no Justice League yet in the DCU. He is also saying that the Wonder Woman movie is not just to go; it's actually being written right now. So it's definitely moving forward. I think they said they were going to call it. Forget what the article said now. Either way, they are moving forward. A new Wonder Woman movie is coming out. There has been no announcement as far as what that means. Is it going to be Gal Gadot reprising that role? I don't know. Are they going to cast somebody new? We don't really know anything about it yet, other than yes, they did say they were going to focus on 4 key characters in the DCU: Superman, Batman, Supergirl, and Wonder Woman. So yes, Supergirl's coming out shortly. I don't know exactly when. I don't have the date in front of me. But Wonder Woman is being written as we speak. Rob, you're not much of a gamer, are you?
Generally not much of one, no, but I can fake it till I make it. What are we talking about?
You can fake it till you make it. Are you familiar with the ROG Ally from Asus?
No, I don't know what that is. I know
it's trying to compete with Steam Deck, right? It's like that handheld Windows-based device.
Okay.
Well, Asus is actually now partnering with Microsoft, and I don't know if this is a new version, but there's the ROG Xbox Ally coming out, which will not only let you play your Xbox games, but you'll also be able to play PC games on this handheld device. So going right after the Steam Deck and the Switch and like that kind of a market, this is going to be
makes sense for Microsoft to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why they haven't done something like this before, especially now that they're saying they're going to be pulling back from the console stuff. It makes sense that they would partner up with somebody else.
Maybe the
product, right?
Consoles they're getting maybe less popular, and they're trying to get in on that market that's going to the handheld that Steam Deck is just killing on right now. And the Switch 2 coming out.
Yeah, the new Switch, the Switch 2, yeah. Keith is saying here, Supergirl scheduled for June of 2026. There you go. So it's next year.
Yeah.
He's also saying in this movie, they're just called the Justice Gang.
Yeah.
Hey.
He also got his tickets today. I saw that. Andre as well got their tickets. So these guys have already got their tickets. They're good to go.
Yeah, I'm quite anxious to hear the feedback from people from this movie because more I see, the more trailers I get, the more they throw at me, the more I'm buying into what they're doing. So knock on some wood here.
Excited,
really hope it's going to be good. Yeah.
High hopes.
Yeah. Queen Harleen is now in the chat waving at us. What's up, Harleen? Oh no, it's Halloween Queen. Sorry, not at all. That's Steve's wife.
Wrong queen.
Wrong queen. Where are we going next? Did you guys know there's a live action Zelda in the works?
I didn't know that.
So apparently, Nintendo actually announced that they're pushing it back to May of 2027. So it's really early, I'm guessing, in production. I'm going to assume if it's not going to be out till 2027, they haven't even started. They may have not even started casting. But if there's anybody in the chat that knows if they're casting or what's going on, or I don't know, but is Zelda still a property that people are interested in? I know there was a lot of people into Zelda back in the day. And I know there's been a ton of games and all that
there,
stuff.
yeah. Every time it comes out, every time a new console comes out, there's a Zelda game with it. I think you see a lot of people cosplaying from the Zelda line.
Yeah,
too,
fair enough. You do see some Zelda cosplays. Yeah.
Frankly, I'm surprised it's been this long. I don't know if there's been any other live action Zelda movies in the last 20 years, but I'm surprised it's taken this long.
I don't think so. I feel like there was an animated movie at one point, and I think there was an animated show. Andre saying, game-wise, Zelda's still huge.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been any official casting for the movie yet. Well, there you go. Toxic Fox, what's up? Saying the internet's is casting Hunter Schafer as Zelda. That's all I
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is. I'm not sure what you would recognize them from.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
and to be honest, I even back in the day, I was not into Zelda. Actually, I'm going to be brutally honest here. Back in those days, we couldn't afford video games, so I never got into Zelda and a lot of those early, video games because we couldn't afford a Nintendo, right? I got a hand-me-down Atari, 2600.
Yeah. I remember my dad renting. For the younger people here aren't gonna know what the hell we're talking about, but my dad would go to Blockbuster and like rent a Nintendo for a weekend, right?
Yeah.
I
remember that. Yeah, you could rent the Nintendos and 100%, and we've done that for sure.
Yeah,
but yeah, we couldn't afford them, so I never got into a lot of these games. And Andrew Saxon here is saying there was absolutely a cartoon, hence the phrase "excuse me, princess."
There you go.
Yeah. Zelda, you guys interested in? Is that something you guys are looking forward to? Myself? I don't know. I know I've been on this alien Earth rant for like fucking weeks now. Okay.
Months.
and all these not conspiracy, but
theories
that I'm pulling out of my ass here about this new movie or this new TV show, I should say. Alien Earth is a show. It's not a movie. There's every time a new trailer comes out, they're giving us more clues of them introducing potentially predators. And one of the big things that really struck with me, and I don't know if anybody has seen the new trailer. If you have not seen the latest trailer for Alien Earth, go check it out. It's absolutely dope. It really opens up on what the premise of the show is. And it looks like there's kind of two different things going on with the show. On the one hand, they're building the first androids, right? The first Davids and the first, which they've already told us in the Badlands trailer that there's a Wayland android, right? Now they're telling us the story of the first android. And then there's a quote in the trailer that says that the ship that crashed on Earth was carrying 5 different, how do they put it? 5 different creatures from the depths of space.
Yeah, I think that's how they were worded.
Yeah, and one of them being an egg, it looks like. One of them is a xenomorph egg or a face hugger egg or whatever you want to call it, right? So the fuck are the other 4?
Yeah.
Considering we already heard the predator clicking in the trailer, you're going to have a hard time telling me that they're not pointing at there being some sort of connection with the predator. There's got to be.
I think there's a connection to the predator in the show. I don't know if it's one of those 4 other specimens that they've brought back. It would make sense.
Good point, actually. That's a very good point.
It would make, it'd be one way to bring it in, but they seem too small unless they're shoving like a baby predator in there, which might explain why. The one in Badlands looks like
a weird
teenager or kid. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think there's something going on with that Predator that they're not telling us. And, well, clearly, because he looks so perfect. He or she. That's the other thing, right? They're calling it Dex, but that's all we know, right? So yeah, I can't tell you how hyped up I am for this show, especially after watching Killer of Killers last night, which we're going to be talking about later, guys. So I'm going to spoil it now. At the end of
Yes,
the show,
there will
we are
be.
going to give you our spoiler review and thoughts on Predator Killer of Killers. So stick with us if you want to hear what we have to say. If you've not watched Predator Killer of Killers and you don't want it spoiled, we'll let you know, and then you can run off while we geek out. But I don't think you're really gonna miss anything by spoiling any of this, just because of the format in which they built the movie. But again, I don't want to say too much. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But talking about trailers, well, you were just watching it before we were going live. But if everybody has not seen the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein trailer, holy shit, go check it out. I didn't even know Guillermo del Toro was making a Frankenstein, and I clearly didn't know he was making it. So I didn't know Oscar Isaac was going to be Frankenstein, which, after seeing the trailer, I think is perfect. And it sounds like, or at least they're making it look like, this is mostly going to be about Dr. Frankenstein himself, not about the monster. They're making it look like it's his attempt at, developing this technology, culminating in him creating the monster. I don't know that the monster is going to be the main bit of this story. So
It's gonna be like the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Which I'm down for. Like, I don't like the Frankenstein story is cool, and Frankenstein's monster is great and all, but like like you've seen so many stories about the monster, right? Like, that's not what I want to see. I want to see Frankenstein's story, which I guess we got to see a little bit of in that TV show. What was the name of that TV show? There was a TV show, I think, on Prime that he was a part of. They were like a group of people, and Frankenstein was one of them.
Oh,
and it was canceled. Damn, I forget what it was called now, but that also was a bit of more of a focus on Victor Frankenstein versus the monster.
the monster.
Right?
Yeah.
Although the monster was also part of the story. There was anyway, I'm looking forward to this one as well. Everybody's talking about it in the chat, so we might as well talk about it now. Jamie's saying, JS, I feel so close to you right now. She's upstairs.
I was wondering, like, how far is she, like, over in the...
She's upstairs. Yes, Jamie's here right now. We might as well talk about it right now because everybody's talking about it in the chat. Breaking news today. A brand new teaser for Spaceballs 2 has come out. That's right, folks. We're getting a Spaceballs 2. I don't think anybody's actually asked for this. But, man, I am down for this. Especially with how silly the trailer was. Yeah, this is going to be good. Now, apparently, Bill Pullman's coming back for this. Mel Brooks, I mean, he was the director of the original. I think he created the original movie, so I would assume he's in the teaser.
He's in the teaser, and it says he's going to be reprising his role. He's 98, which good for him, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's listen, I don't know what kind of part he's going to have, and if he's going to be involved at all, other than maybe just a quick cameo or a little bit. But I'm down for this one. There's a lot of speculation online that Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement to reprise his role as Dark Helmet. Now, nobody's confirming anything. There's been no casting announcement made. But a lot of the articles, like you were saying, the way you read the article, it's like Rick Moranis coming out of retirement, and then when you read the article, it's like, well, we think Rick Moranis.
Yeah, we're pretty sure. Like, why wouldn't
pretty
we?
sure? Yeah, right. So we'll see. We'll see if Rick Moranis. I can't imagine they would make a Spaceballs 2 without him. It would feel silly to have a Spaceballs 2 without Rick Moranis. I'm not
for sure, and it'll be amazing to see him. I think Paul in the chat here. The search for more money, is that Spaceballs 2? The search for more money.
The search for more money. That'd be hilarious. That's what everybody is saying online. It should be called the search for more money.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Andrew Saxon saying, could you use a good dose of nostalgia? I mean, for sure. I feel like a lot of franchises are betting on the nostalgia, right? Why do you think they're doing so many things and calling it things that we know, and then you go watch the movie and it's something completely different? Because they want you to have that nostalgia thing and come and pay to see the movie, whether it's actually what you're expecting or not, right? So they're calling it the Schwartz Awakens. That'd be genius, actually. That would be genius. Although I think that's what the teaser poster says, The Force Awakens, February 2027 or something like that. Force Awakens 2027.
Yeah, 2027. Yeah,
the Schwartz Awakens 2027. So now everybody is going on here. Should we do? Are we going to be doing Spaceball cosplays? Steve is like, I want to print the helmet right now. Listen,
we got to call dibs on who's doing what here.
Yeah, don't get us started here. But yes, maybe we'll be doing Spaceballs cosplays. Hey, we got 2 years to go, so we got plenty of time to figure all this out. But yeah, this will be quite the dose of nostalgia. That's right.
You know what? After this last 2 minutes, regardless of if that movie comes out, we have to do a Spaceballs cosplay, and just even if it's the three of us, and just follow around the 501st and troll them.
That'd be fucking hilarious. Oh my god. Andrew saying, I call dibs on Pizza the Hut. With the size of the helmet, it might take 2 years.
Yeah. Gotta get that high-speed PLA.
Yeah, exactly. And then finally, for the Doctor Who fans in the audience, although looking at the people in the chat, I don't think there's a ton of Doctor Who fans in the chat right now. You've seen the finale of this season of Doctor Who. We did find out that I'm going to have to read it because I can never pronounce his name. Nkudi Gatwa, the 15th Doctor, is already done. Very short run. After one season, it's one and done. And Paul Neal is saying, I hated it. Well, I mean, it's done. And at the end, because the Doctor always regenerates at the end of the season where he finishes, and then he regenerates into the new Doctor. The problem is this time he didn't regenerate into a new Doctor. He regenerated into Rose Tyler. If you don't know who Rose Tyler is, Rose Tyler was the Doctor's, I don't want to say first companion, but when Doctor Who came back in 2005, she was his companion. Everybody's freaking out. Everybody's pissed off. Everybody's like, look, she's not the Doctor. Blah, blah. It's clearly going to be some timey-wimey space shenanigans happening here. So for everybody that's freaking out, it'll be okay. She's not going to be the next Doctor. She can't be because she's another person. She's not the Doctor. We do, however, know that she did become the heart of the TARDIS. And if you saw the episode, or at least if you saw the Doctor's regeneration, it shot at the TARDIS. So his regeneration was very different than what we usually see. Paul Neal is saying, rumor is she's not the Doctor. I don't think she is. I think that the Doctor is taking this shape because of what's going on with his regeneration and the TARDIS and all that stuff. And then in the first episode or second episode or whatnot, it'll get fixed. And then they'll announce who the new Doctor is. Because I don't think they've picked the new Doctor. And I have a feeling by the way this all went down that he decided last minute, I'm done. Like, this is it. After this episode, I'm not coming back. So they quickly added that at the end. Let's regenerate him. Boom, done. Bad Wolf for the moment. Yeah, I mean, she is Bad Wolf. And yes, in the moment, she became the TARDIS's heart. So in any case, I didn't know Andrew Saxon was a Doctor Who fan, a Whovian. That's good to know. Either way, don't freak out, boys and girls. Rose Tyler's not going to be the Doctor. Although I hope we see more of Rose Tyler because she was fantastic. I think by far she was the favorite companion the Doctors had since the beginning of Doctor Who in the 60s. So we'll have to see. The next piece of news is Killer of Killers. It came out last week. We both watched it. We're going to talk about it, but we're going to move this to the end. So we're going to wait. We're going to move this to the end. We don't want to go through this right now. I think for the time being, what we might do is move on to community news.
Community news. Let's do it. Community news. Okay, so I haven't been paying a lot of attention to what's going on in the community, but I do know a few things are going on.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that YetiCon is taking place this weekend. Not going to be there, but I would love to go.
YetiCon's at Blue Mountain, right?
I believe it is, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times to be had there.
Swimsuit con, right? Everybody because it's a resort, right? So everybody's going to go and hang out by the pool in their summer cosplays and have fun. And there's an interior con.
Yeah, there's an interior thing that goes on.
Which, that's cool and all. I guess it's a pick your battles type of thing, right? Like I know some people go to everything, but I just can't keep up sometimes.
Yeah, I've never been. I know a lot of people have fun. Now, I'm not sure if it's a fun con or just you're just there with friends in a resort type of environment.
Mm-hmm.
For the first few years I was in this, I didn't understand why they call it YetiCon. To be honest, I still don't. Maybe because it's Blue Mountain. But yeah, good times and a con-like experience. So enjoy, have fun, stay safe.
Yeah, everybody go and have a great time.
Drink lots of water.
Each other. Yeah, drink lots of water. Don't be drinking and be silly by the pool. You can drink and be silly by the pool, but please be careful.
And always wear a condom. Moving on to the following weekend is going to be, trust me, the Awesome Toy Show, June 21st, where you will have a chance to see the Iron Throne that I labored over Christmas to make because Jeff bet me I couldn't do it. And I did it. So you have to go see it and sit on it and get a photo and post it and tag me and Geeks and Co.
I just want to mention, we've been looking forward to this show for a while now. We signed up for this in like February or something. And, we started planning on doing Game of Thrones cosplays. And, of course, now it's last minute because it's like 10 days from now, right?
Yeah.
And my cosplay now is not coming.
Oh, yes. What was the news that you had today? What did Amazon send you today?
Yeah, they refunded me. They just refunded me my purchase. They're like, yeah, this is not coming. Here's your money.
Yeah, you're not cosplaying this.
Like, what? So hang on. So the wig came. The boots that I ordered from the same place at the same time came, but the cosplay just disappeared. So yeah, so now I'm ordering a bunch of random like Renaissance Fair fucking bullshit online that I'm gonna try to throw together in 10 days to try to make some sort of a costume that's fitting for Game of Thrones until I can figure out what the hell is going on with my actual Game of Thrones costume. And I want to say before you go on, our friend Andrew Saxon, who's in the chat, is going to be joining us. Funny enough, he's the only one that his costume's pretty much ready. Because we also have our buddy Richard Beccari from Midlife Cosplay, who, by the way, guys, if you know Richard and you're in contact with Richard, go say hi and wish him get well better or get well better. Get well soon, get better soon. Richard had some health issues at burst appendix, spent a couple days in the hospital. He's on his back right now. He's not doing too well. All the while trying to also finish his Game of Thrones costume, which half of it hasn't come yet. I'm like, oh, fuck. We're gonna show up to this con with no costumes.
So this is a related story, trust me. But I was at Crazy Bins a couple months ago,
yeah.
And when I was there, I was like the $5 day, and I found you ever see like a big, sometimes I don't know why people do this, but back in the day, they would have like a little carpet around their toilet, right? So it would shape the toilet and it would be circular.
Right.
So I was there and I found one, but it was massive. It was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet wide. So and it was like polar bear fur, right? Like thick white fur. So I grabbed that thinking of just such an occasion. So if you need a Jon Snow cape, I have a toilet bowl carpet that you can wrap around your neck if you want.
You know what? I may take you up on that. I've myself ordered a carpet. Here's the list of parts that I ordered for my costume: a faux fur carpet, blackout curtains, troubadour pants.
It's con crunch. You got to do what you got to do, right?
Oh boy, and a cheap Renaissance Fair shirt off of Amazon. So yeah, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. And we're gonna have fun, and we're gonna be there, and the fucking throne is gonna be there. So you guys better freaking come out and say hi, and come and sit in the damn throne. Because yeah, it's gonna. Andrew's saying this is going to be amazing. Oh, buddy, you have no idea. Oh, yeah. But yes, Awesome Toy Show is going to be a great one. There is another show happening on the same day, which, man, last year they had their show at the same time as VonCon, and this year they're having their show at the same time as Awesome Toy Show. It's getting harder and harder to pick dates that have nothing.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, yeah. And that's a good problem to have, right? We're having lots of choices of things we can do in the community. Yeah, we'd love you to come to the Awesome Toy Show, but if you're not going there, another one is the Toronto Prop Expo.
Yes.
Which, if it wasn't for the fact that it always seems to clash with the day we're doing something else, I'd love to go to. Totally up our alley.
Yeah, Toronto Prop Expo. It's getting bigger and bigger every year. It's run by our friends John and Jennifer from the Cannes Podcast Awards. The June 21st, correct. Prop Expo and Anime Heroes.
Yeah, there's a
event at the Rec Room. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That's the same day as Awesome Toy Show. So if you're not going to the Prop Expo, come to Awesome Toy Show, and then you can all go to the Rec Room in the evening. Yeah.
There you go. That's what's coming up on my radar in the immediate future. A little bit out from there. It's amazing how time flies. We've got to start talking about it though. VonCon, August 9th and 10th. That's always a fun show to do.
And they're doing 2 days this year.
First year they're doing 2 days. So
yeah,
again, growing, right? A couple of the cons we've been going to 1 to 2 days. Game Expo did that earlier in the year, so that's awesome.
It's a sign that things are going well for these conventions, right? I mean,
they're
going to 2 days and they're looking at bigger venues, and clearly people are going to these shows, right? So hey, I mean, the more the merrier. The more the better, if you ask me.
And over the years, like they keep experimenting. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but they keep kind of trying to bring in new and different things to keep it fresh and unique things that you don't sort of see everywhere else, which I think makes for the fun cons, right? A little bit of everything.
Correct. And Andre here is saying Bret Hart's going to be at VonCon. That's right. So
that's right.
The main feature this year for VonCon is Bret Hart. So that should be fun.
That should be a fun one for sure.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to lie. We tried to be the ones to interview Bret on stage. Unfortunately, there was already somebody lined up to interview Bret on stage. We are, however, going to try to get an interview in with him regardless. I don't know how we're going to swing that.
Want me to like dress up as Predator and challenge him?
I mean, that would work. Yeah, that would work. Or we could try to get Myers to come dressed as Bret Hart and just challenge him as him.
I feel like
Myers
would do a good Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh,
I think, yeah. Myers, if you're out there.
Capes and Chaos are going to be there. Tiffany's saying that's right. And I think we're kind of the only 2 cosplay groups that are going to be there. There's not going to be any other cosplayers. Last year, the whole other side was all a bunch of cosplayers. They're not going to have that this year, as far as I understand. So they're going to have more vendors, more booths. I believe they're going to have more food, which VonCon's always great for food. They always have vendors outside that are different. They had a
food trucks.
Pizza, They had like these Jamaican skewers. They had like a bunch of stuff. So food truck stuff is always really good. So, Tiffany's saying cosplay for a cause. Oh, I didn't realize they were going to be there as well. Oh, there you go.
She says, I think, yeah, like I said, it's they have their website's not doesn't seem to be updated with this year's info, and so I haven't had a chance to sort of check in on that. But anyway, it's coming. It's a little bit of ways away. It's August, but those are some of the events we're going to be at. And then after that, London Comic Con, which we're not going to get into probably right now, but it usually wraps up our September or summer season for us. But yeah. I think
London Comic. I mean, obviously, Fan Expo is going to be coming up in between, but as far as the ones that we're going to for sure, these are the ones.
Fan Expo blanked on. That's after.
We don't know. It's Fan Expo's before London.
Yes, before London, after VonCon.
Yeah, it's like right in between, and we still haven't heard anything back from them. So at this point, I don't know. Usually, they at least send us, thanks but no thanks if they're not going to have us there. What's going on there with Fan Expo, but we'll see. We've applied, and if they'll take us, we're going to bring the throne there as well. So who knows? Maybe you'll see that popping up in a podcast near you.
Tiffany, before we go here, is saying in the chat that she's also looking for a few more female cosplay guests for the booth, recognizable characters. So if you're interested, reach out to Tiffany or their page on Instagram. Sorry,
Capes and Chaos.
There, Capes and Chaos. Yeah. Thanks for saving there.
Yeah.
All right, and that's it for community news for now.
Andre saying, "Come on, Fan Expo." Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't. I'm not even going to Fan. I don't think I'm going to Fan Expo, so I didn't think of it. But
yeah, I mean, Fan Expo. I mean, it's a great con because everybody's there. It's become one. It's hard to have a booth at a big show like that. 4 days, having to be there early, on your feet all day. I mean, it's you need a crew, and lucky we've been lucky to have people that want to help out and that have helped out because it's a lot to run a booth at a big show.
It is a lot for 4 days. Yeah, definitely need a crew to help with it.
Yeah, for sure. Do we want to talk quickly about Coca?
We could. It was an interesting concept.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys know what this is, but this week is the 2025 National Coca Conference, which is the
it's basically an association of like this was it student body representative student unions all across Canada. They all get together for their yearly conference, and this year it was in Mississauga
at Sheridan College.
Yeah.
It's a Canadian organization of campus activities.
So there you go. Campus activities. That's the key piece here is campus activities. That's more important.
Yeah. So it's all the student bodies and the stuff that they run on their campus. And the Coca Conference is a conference it's a 1 week thing for those guys to get together and do a bunch of stuff. And in the evening, there's a bunch of features. So the first night was just a get together for them to hang out and eat some food and have some drinks while there was a bunch of people doing things that they could check out, right? There were like trapeze thing, and there were like pole swinging, and there was us. So we got featured at the show. We partnered up with London Comic Con, and we were the feature for London Comic Con for the show. I forget what the other ones were now, but we got to go check it out. We were there on Monday. We spent a couple hours there, and it was pretty neat. And London Comic Con is there again tonight. Tonight is their night. So they're doing like a mini con at the Coca Conference in hopes of selling their campus con tour thing, right? So they want to actually take London Comic Con on the road and go to different campuses and have like a mini convention on your campus for a whole day. And it would be a flat fee for the campus to pay, or for the student union to pay. And then everything is free. They would bring a celebrity, and autographs would be free, and you know what I mean. Like
they'd have panels, and they'd have like a game section.
Same thing you would see at a con, but on a smaller scale,
brought to the school campus.
Correct. So that's what they're trying to pitch, and hopefully it takes off. We're totally on board with that stuff. I mean, if they, We love that stuff. I think that it's become more and more evident that as much as kids are into anime, kids aren't into Comic Cons anymore. Like when you go to London Comic Con, it's not kids that fill up the place; it's people our age that fill up the place.
Yeah.
So, you know, what's that? What does that mean for his concept and wanting to bring that to the kids? I don't know. Maybe we have to target to things that the kids like more. Maybe it needs to be more anime focused. I don't know. But keep your ears and eyes peeled because we're probably going to be talking more about Campus Store with London Comic Con. We love those guys.
It'll be
like our buddy Richard.
The Hangover Part 5.
Midlife Cosplay evening, guys. What's up, buddy? We were just talking about our. Hey, Richard. Hope you're feeling better. We're just talking about our cosplay. Should I say mishaps? I don't know if I want to call them mishaps, but our cosplay roadblocks, and how it doesn't matter if you're buying a cosplay or making a cosplay. Cosplay crunch is real. The damn con crunch. I got a funny one this week. I got to do it. I'm sorry. Are you okay? I got to do it. I cannot do it. Oh, if I could love this thing. And I know Jeff hates it, which makes it even funnier. Oh, yeah. Did you know when Arnold Schwarzenegger started and he made the Terminator and Conan the Barbarian, he was so fucking big they couldn't find stunt doubles for him, so they had to train him to do his own stunts.
Really? Because they couldn't find anybody big enough to stand in for him.
They couldn't find anybody big enough to stand in for him.
Huh.
So big, he had to get trained to do his own stunts. The more you know.
just in case this is what the radio's talking about in the morning and you want to win a free tickets to something.
Yeah. I think it's that time. I mean, we're 45 minutes in, and we need to talk about Predator Killer of Killers. Guys, if you've not seen Predator Killer of Killers, we are going to give you our thoughts. We're going to give you a review. We are going to get into spoiler territory. So if you have not seen it and do not want it spoiled, the fuck out of here.
We need like a new intro for when we do this, and then spoilers. It's like red silent, beer, spoilers.
Yeah. So you've been warned. If you don't want it spoiled, get out of here. Before you do, I will say this: I don't think that you hearing spoilers or how it goes down, or at least we're not going to tell you the whole story, right? I don't think any of that is really going to affect your enjoyment of this movie because it was fire.
It was really good.
It was fire. Dan Trachtenberg, however you say his name. Listen,
Trachtenberg.
He gets it. And I know that Prey had some people that didn't like it, but the overall reception for Prey was amazing. This one, I didn't really know. Okay, so I didn't know what to expect going into this because they told us this was going to be an anthology type of movie, right? Where you're going to get 3 completely different stories and 3 completely different timelines. Which you do
get, but yeah, I was with you. You thought it was 3.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be 3
different stories.
Yeah, 3 half-hour stories for a total of an hour and a half, and I thought that's what it was going to be. It's not what it was. Well, I mean, it was, but it's not. I don't want to say too much here because I don't want to spoil that bit too much, but only half of the movie is the 3 stories. The other half of the movie is them together. Now, I wasn't sure what to think about them doing this as an animated movie. I was like, yeah, come on, man, it's Predator. Why are you making this animated? But I'll say this. The action in this was fast, is brutal as fuck. I mean, you saw like people's heads get cut into two and a guy get chopped in half. And I mean, it was brutal. The three stories, the Vikings, the Shield.
Yeah.
Second story was the feudal Japan, the sword. And the last story was World War II. We're assuming. I don't know that we actually. I guess we do.
That
what
was
year
World
did
War
they say?
II.
It was World War
41, 1941. Yeah.
1941. There you
It's
go.
called
So
The Bullet.
The Bullet was the last one, and I really liked how every story was actually quite short. It was, here's a very quick background, and boom, we meet a predator, and bing bang, and you fight him, and people are dying, and boom, predator dies, and we move on to the next story. Right? There was no fucking around. The action was fast. There was not a lot of dialogue, actually. The sword had one line. Well, two lines, technically, and it was at the end. Right?
Is that all it had in it?
All it had in it. They do not talk throughout the whole movie. Right? Because he's a ninja and he's sneaking around. Right?
True.
And there's no dialogue throughout the whole movie except for at the end. Well, there's one or two lines at the beginning, the flashback scene at the beginning when the father is teaching them,
Yeah.
And then at the end,
And
there's
at
that
the end,
slide about the leaves grow together on the tree, but when they fall alone. But you're not alone. Yeah. So that was the line, right? The rest was a big giant fight scene. Actually, for the first part of that story is him as a ninja cutting through his brother's bodyguards. And then the last piece of that fight is him and his brother fighting the predator, which was bananas.
Yeah, it was good.
That one was bananas. And God damn it, that should have been done in live action. That story should have been Prey 2. No questions asked. That should have been Prey 2. And it should have went down the way I would have watched an hour and a half of this with minimal dialogue of just that one story in live action. Fucking right.
Yeah, that's a good point. They could have done that way.
Yeah.
So I take it out of the 3 or 4 main stories, I guess. Out of the 3 main stories, that was your favorite?
By far.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Viking story was cool. This one was wicked. The last one was a little bit silly, I felt.
The last one was silly. Yeah.
Especially how he beats the predator at the end. I'm like, come on. Like, what are you, fucking Naru over here? Like,
yeah.
Either way, it was a great movie. Now, as far as the ending piece, I don't. Okay, you know what? We already said we were getting into spoilers, and we've got more people now that we had earlier. So if you've joined us since we started talking about Predator Killer of Killers, we're gonna get into heavy spoilers now. So, warning you. Okay, so what we thought was going to be 3 completely different stories is actually not. The story we actually got is, well, we don't really know if it's a clan of predators or if it's the whole predator race or what the premise is really. But the idea here is that they are collecting, maybe not all, but at least some of the survivors of the predators. Some of the people that have killed predators, the predators are then collecting them and they're cryo-freezing them and keeping them. And then at a later point in time, they thaw them to fight the Grendel King, or at least that's what the Viking calls him, the Grendel King, which is this big giant predator with a xenomorph queen rib cage on his back.
Xenomorph tails making a cape.
Xenomorph tails making a cape. He looks pretty badass, and they get to fight him, right? So they thaw the 3 characters that we saw their story, and now they get to fight him, and that all goes down. And I'm not going to tell you how it all ends, but see that yourself. But I have a bit of an issue with the whole freezing the survivors, and then so what? So you're going to bring anybody back that you want and say, "Oh yeah, we just froze them."
Yeah, and so think about that for a second, and maybe I'm missing something here, but the whole point of like each of those, either the movies or the little sub movies, they kill the predator, and they're the victor, and then it goes on to the next story. Well, at what point did they go back and like capture the Viking or the ninja and freeze
Oh,
them.
that's the thing. You don't know, right? Because the way they blend it, it makes it look like it was in their head. The whole thing is in their head. You're seeing their version of how their story went down while they're in that ship together. That's what we're seeing, right? That's why in between each story, you fade back into the ship and then you see the next guy and then you see his story. And then
Yeah,
his
and then
story
they add the last guy at the end.
and then
Yeah.
at the end, the last guy shows up, and then you see his story, right? So it almost feels like what you're seeing is their recollection of those events, but they don't tell you when they go and get them, and they don't tell you how and why, and we don't really get any of that, which was a little bit. The whole premise I find a little bit odd, but beyond that, dope movie, dope
Yeah.
movie. I like the new Predators. I'm not gonna lie. I love that. I don't think people have a problem with Predators looking different. I think people have a problem when the Predators look stupid. Is that fair to say?
Yep.
Like people were shitting on Farrell because Farrell looked stupid, but Farrell looked stupid, right? Like his face was just too weird, right? You know, when people
Different than
started calling
any.
him the Down syndrome Predator, and then it was like, oh fuck, no, I can't unsee that now, right? Like, but it's not because we don't like different Predators. It's just because he didn't look good, right?
Yeah.
People complaining about Dex in the Predator Badlands trailer. People hate how that Predator looks. Again, it's not because people want the Predators to all look the same. It's just that looks stupid. And this movie showed us that the Predators can look different and still look cool as fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
That's one of the things we love. I think everybody loves about Dan is that he's willing to take those chances and make them a little bit different, go outside of the box, and he's winning for the most part.
Yeah.
Sure.
Keith says they showed the pilot getting taken, though. You're right. You know what? At the end, they do show him getting taken. Well, I'm not at the end, but at the end of his story. You're right.
Yeah, but the other two win their stories, and then later they're in the ship. So
yeah.
I don't know how that works, but
Richard's also saying, I like it. I liked it. Cool story. I love the cinematic structure of how it was put together. 100%. That was
great.
Really well done. And I think that if they had done it any other way, it just would have felt like another Predators. Remember Predators? How they go and they kidnap all these people and they bring them to this planet, and then they get. It would have felt too much like that if they hadn't done this first, right? Although this felt like it was a direct tie-in to that.
Well, had a similar theme and like a similar idea, right?
Yeah, it felt like it was it was trying to link Predators to like his world, Dan Trachtenberg.
To prey to his world.
Prey, yeah. Because it is a little bit of a reboot, if we're honest, right? Like it's not exactly the same. And you know, the fucking gun. Stupid gun. That came back again. And it's like, you know, I get it. It was a cool, you know, thing in Predator 2 when he gives him the gun and it's like, ooh, they've been around for that long. Yeah, they've been around for way longer than that. But like, is he going to use it in everything now? Like, is the gun going to be everywhere? Is that the new thing? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know. I did find it kind of hilarious though when, you know, towards the end of the movie when they all give their weapons, right? And he gets his weapon and it's that gun, but it's like where you had to load the gunpowder. Yeah. Yeah. And he's like, this isn't even from my century.
Yeah. I see. He said, you know what? That's a good point. Keith is saying, I think there's a crew on the ship and only one Predator hunts, and that crew probably has orders to take whatever beats them.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, that does make sense, especially when you think about some of these Predator movies have very specifically depicted the fact that the Predator usually gets dropped off. And then the ship
a giant ship flies by and one Predator pops out.
Yeah, and then the ship leaves, right? So it stands to reason that, yes, there is a ship. And Rob explained it in a little bit of a better way for me that made sense. But my main issue with this is that we know some of these survivors were not taken. We know Dutch was not taken, and we know he survived, and we know he was around because they even mention him in the second movie. In Predator 2, they mention him. And then at the end of Predator 2, right? When they get down under the city where the ship is, like Keith is saying right now, there's multiple predators on that ship, but they don't take him. They give him the gun, the stupid fucking gun, right? They give him the gun and then they leave, right? So what, did they go back and take him later? And they give him the gun and say, ha ha, joke's on you. Gotcha.
And how did they give him the gun in the 80s and the other guy the gun in the 40s?
And now in the future, now they've got the gun back and they're giving it to this guy.
Yeah. Like, enough of the gun already?
Yeah, enough with the gun and I don't know. I don't like the I like the idea of having and seeing predators in different timelines. I don't like when you start trying to meld those together. Right? Like that whole reason for them to be together for me breaks my brain a little bit and that's the only thing about this movie that bugs me.
The whole reason they're together?
Well, yeah, the whole we go get the winners and then we cryo freeze them and then we bring them back out later.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, what did they roll the dice? It's his turn. Get Naru.
Yeah, maybe. And then they take
we'll get Dutch.
Well, what he was doing with those three people is fighting them again. The whole point of that was to fight them against each other, and whoever won that person fights the Grendel King. He wanted 100%. To fight the strongest out of the fighters.
Yeah,
that's what he said anyway. I don't think that was actually his intention. He just wanted to watch the brutality between them. But
well, and that's another thing. Maybe that's exactly what it was, right? Which feels anti-thematic to the Predators. They're not into this. Is not a gladiator arena, right? They're not gladiators. They're hunters. We've always been told the game was called Hunting Grounds, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Right. So hunters aren't about the brutality. They're not about, hey, I want to see these chickens fight. That's not what hunters are about, right? So, I don't know. I don't want to shit talk it too much because it really was a great.
It was awesome. Yeah,
it really was a great movie.
I would love to see the first two turned into full-length movies. I really liked the Viking one. I loved the ending of that, how she kills the Predator. Yeah, which reminds me, was that weapon he was using, is that new in that movie, or had we seen that thing before somewhere else?
I don't think we've ever seen it. I feel like we might have seen something like to that effect in the Predator. I think the Super Predator maybe has something like that, but no, I don't specifically remember that shockwave weapon that he has.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, well, look at that. Messiah Complex Cosplay says smells weird in here. Well, that's because you just came in, buddy.
It's the mothballs in your shirt there, bud.
Mr. Complex, how are you doing, kind sir? So yeah, it's Predator of Killers. Predator Killer of Killers. Have you guys seen it? I want to hear from the chat. Who's seen it? What did you guys think? Did you guys like it? Have you even watched it? If you haven't watched it, go fucking watch it. This thing's amazing. It's on Disney Plus. It's a Hulu movie. Just like Prey was. Prey was released for Hulu. Just like Alien Earth is. It's a Hulu show.
They're doing a full Disney thing here where you got to watch all the freaking movies and shows.
Just saying. I don't know. Well, I don't know that. I don't know. That would be silly to me. I think Disney. Well, fuck, I hope Disney has learned from the MCU that recipe gets old real quick. But they can still build a world around that and bring us more AVP type, or at least aliens and predators, whether they're together or fighting against each other or whatnot. Can you imagine some sort of a movie or a show with an alien, a predator, and an engineer?
Like the engineer that created the
xenomorphs.
The xenomorphs? Oh.
I mean, I can do that. Those big giant fucking like white guys?
Yeah.
Blue guys or whatever color they are.
White so that could
that could be cool. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Just saying. Besides saying, old man, how are ya? Well, surviving. It's Friday for me, so I can't complain. It's Friday for me. So Talking about Alien Earth, how's that arm of yours doing there, buddy?
It's all healed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show the camera for the people that haven't seen the artwork on your arm there.
I'm gonna have to get up.
Oh, it's hard to see from the camera angle.
Yeah.
I will attest it's dope as fuck.
Yeah, I like it. I'm stuck with it for a while. I approve the artwork.
My name's Rod the Bad Guy, and I approve this artwork. No, sorry. Drinking more alcohol.
Yeah, now I'm trying to figure out what to put at the bottom of it. Like it almost seems like it only makes sense to try to fit a Predator on the rest of it here somewhere, right?
You almost can't not.
Yeah.
Right? Especially considering how instrumental AVP was to, well, our costumes.
Everything we're doing right now.
Right? I mean, if it wasn't for that movie, like, we probably wouldn't. Yeah, none of this would probably be. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
saying that is so badass. It really is. It absolutely fucking is.
I'm a badass.
Rob the badass guy. Sorry, yeah, there you go. Whatever. Guys.
I got a badass.
Yeah, I think we're gonna cut it short to this week. Well, not short. We've been on for an hour. I think this is just gonna be it. Any final words?
Live
Anything
long
going on for you?
and prosper. No, nothing going on that I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was really hoping to be at the Awesome Toy Show, but I've got something else going on, and but I've been making a lot of been working on making some new shit. And slowly poking away at a new cosplay, looking at making some new stuff, 3D builds here and there.
Well, let's not spill too many beans just yet. We'll plenty of time to spill beans.
Don't look over.
Oh, dude, really? Oh, yeah. Well, alrighty then, guys. If you're still with us, holy cow, I don't know what you're doing, because Jesus Christ, I don't know why anybody would watch this nonsense. But thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Make sure you click the like button. It really, really helps propagate our nonsense through the YouTube sphere. If you've not clicked that like, or not the like, but the what do you call it again? Subscribe. Subscribe.
It's down here somewhere. Right,
and that damn notification bell, please take a second. Go click it. Hopefully, we're going to see you guys in a couple weeks at Awesome Toy Show. We will for sure see you next week. I'm assuming Aka will be back next week. I think he's out of vacation days now, but we'll see. Jamie's saying, I'm going to go have a baby. For those that didn't know, Jamie, who is pregnant, very pregnant, is giving birth tonight. She's on her way to the hospital as soon as she leaves here. So,
wow.
Wish her some luck and some quick recovery.
On that note, sorry to take the spotlight away, but it is Father's Day this weekend. So if you are a father or have a father figure or care about that, happy Father's Day to you. And
huge happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. My dad, he doesn't understand English, so he wouldn't understand this anyway. But, pretty lucky to have had a pretty dope dad, even though
me too.
Had health issues over the last couple of years. So happy Father's Day, Dad. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. I think that is going to be it for this week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you stay geeky. We'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Geek Boutique Podcast. Like always, if you prefer to listen to us, you can find us on all major podcast platforms. Now, make sure you don't forget to click that like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell, to make sure you never miss anything.